Hi guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. So today we are going to be taking a look at the dev notes that got released yesterday, and also I was there to watch for the live stream, which is now some of the changes that are going to be coming out in the 3.1.4 upcoming patch. And so we're just going to take a bit of an overview of what's changing and discuss what impact they might have in the game going forwards. So, first thing to say, obviously we are not getting the new Barbarian Commander this patch, unfortunately. But they are certainly threatening that the new Barbarian Commander is going to be coming out pretty soon, and they've advertised sometime next month. So, that's pretty exciting, something I'm certainly looking forward to. So hopefully we'll get to see that sooner rather than later. Yeah, because I'm certainly looking forward to the Barbarians having an Archer-specific commander. Particularly as we are watching some Tier 5 Barbarian Archers on a replay submitted today, just running in the background. So what other changes are there? Falxmen are getting a nice buff, which is obviously certainly a good thing. They've suffered a little bit with the Arminius nerf that was done mostly to Arminius nerf, Vercingetorix nerf, which was kind of to counter Vercingetorix cavalry. But that nerf has obviously adversely affected both Barbarian Infantry and Falxmen. So pretty much across the board, Falxmen have been promised to get a 10% increase to their DPS, which is obviously certainly a good thing. Although we don't quite know in what format that's going to take yet. They haven't said if that's just a DPS just in terms of weapon damage, or there's going to be a bit of an increase to melee attack to go with that. We don't know, but 10% increase in DPS, that's certainly not a bad thing. Falxmen could do with a little bit of a buff. They sometimes struggle. You know, they're obviously very vulnerable to archers and things like that, so a little bit of a buff for them certainly isn't going to do them any harm. So what else is changing? Arminius is getting some changes to his infiltration. Now I was a bit disappointed by this. It was my understanding that they were planning on completely reworking how infiltration was going to be deployed, and they were going to come up with basically an entirely new strategy for the deployment of it, but they haven't. All they've done is reduce the cooldown. And while that's certainly a step in the right direction, because infiltration as an ability is pretty useless, and a useless ability with a long cooldown, which you can only really use once or twice per battle, is really useless. But I still feel, by and large, it doesn't really solve many of the problems that infiltration causes, well, it doesn't cause problems, but many of the lacking features that it has, in the sense that it doesn't really achieve as much as I think it probably should do. Right, it's some devastating volleys into the side of those hoplites, but the unit's nearly gone already. Blimey. Barbarian archers are quite powerful. So yes, that's something else that is changing. And the other thing changing, talking of specific archers, is their focus fire ability. So, for example, I don't know if he's going to use it shortly. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, he's just using dash. When you use focus fire, it allows you to target a small specific area to get more accurate fire. And a lot of people tend to use this when they get engaged by enemy cavalry or enemy infantry, because it enables the archers to still fire back without just using hand-to-hand. And it allows them to still have a fight, because the hand-to-hand ability of archers is basically nothing. But this is going to be changing. Focus fire is now no longer going to be usable when you're engaged in melee combat. So if you get a melee combat flag modifier on your unit, you know, if one of these pikemen got engaged with these archers, you'd no longer be able to use focus fire. So that's probably a good change, really, because, you know, should archers really be able to select targeted area fire while they, you know, are in combat, and no, they probably shouldn't. But that's not the only. But I'm going off track here already. Words. That's not the only thing that's changing. They are not. They are still going to be able to. Wow, that was a really good aim fire in there. They are still going to be able to fire when they're engaged. So it's kind of a complicated one to explain without showing you, but if these units were to engage these archers, then the archers are going to hand-to-hand combat, and then they would no longer be able to use focus fire with the new patch. They would, however, still be able to target and shoot at, say, these Punic mercenaries in the distance, which may, as a result, hit some of the hoplites when they're engaged. If you're a cavalry player and you've taken on enemy archers, I'm sure you've probably experienced this, where the archers continue to fire, even if not directly at you, at a unit that's behind you, and you end up getting hit as a result. That is something that's going to be continuing, because following on from the live stream, it was discussed, and it sort of mentioned that they don't want to excessively nerf archers, so that's something that's going to be staying with us for the foreseeable future. So no focus fire, but they still are going to be able to fire, you know, their bows. So we're also getting some new commander skins. There's some pretty nice pictures have been put out, which are available on the Total War Warrior website, and there's also a picture of the new commander as well. So yeah, I see they've done like Sulla. Oh, it looks pretty cool, even if it looks a little bit zombie-like on his feet with his skin tone. But yeah, it's certainly a step in the right direction. It's good to have some of the new commander skins and stuff. I know it's sort of cosmetic stuff, doesn't necessarily add a lot to the game, but some people like it, and you know, it doesn't do any harm. And Boudica has also had a new skin done for it, and Boudica, I must admit, it does look really cool. It looks half like a White Walker, but still pretty awesome. So we've got that to look forward to as well. So yeah, some pretty good changes all in all, I think, in this patch, although nothing that's really particularly major. Cavalry coming in, watch out for that. I'd say yeah, so some good changes, but nothing major, if that makes sense. It's mostly just balance changes, skins, things like that. Obviously, I was kind of hoping for the new commander was going to be coming out in this patch, which is a bit unfortunate that it's not. But at least we've sort of been promised an ETA, and that's something that's going to be coming shortly. They also briefly discussed things like some of the post-battle interface features they want to improve, like a post-battle chat and sort of post-battle analysis, which is something I think they picked up on as being wanted a lot in the comments. I think that's something they're going to try to be doing more. But they haven't. They've got plans, but they haven't announced them yet. That's something that's going to be coming up in future patches. So it looks like old Master Bates has got these guys completely surrounded and peppering them from all angles. These are the poor Punic mercenaries. Obviously doing a lot better with the upgraded shield screen that they got in the last patch than they did before, but being surrounded on all flanks by archers is never going to end particularly well for them. Must be building himself up a nice amount of aggression points, which he is indeed, and decap points as well for stopping the enemy capping out. They're going to be going down pretty quickly. Yeah, it seems the changes that have been made to the Carthaginians following the 3.1.3 patch have been pretty good overall. I did a video on them. If you go and check out some of my videos from a couple of days ago, you'll see that I did a video looking at the Punic Mercenary reviews, and we're also going to have a video coming out on the tier 6s shortly as well. Looks like these enemy cavalry got completely fooled by his infiltration. If you look down at his stats ability, you'll see after I've just slagged off infiltration earlier on in the game, it looks like they don't realise that these archers are not friendly, because he had a really good opportunity. He basically walked past these archers here without realising. I still don't think he necessarily realises what he's being shot at from. Oopsie daisy, need to learn what infiltration is and what it does, because it's pretty effective if you don't know. So we've got more enemy archers coming down here. Are they going to? Are the pikemen going to realise? Oh, the pikemen! Oh, that was a bit of a lake pipe phalanx there. I thought that's got potential to do quite a lot of damage against these horses, which it is. That's just reminded me, talking about pikemen. It's hard to try and write all this down to make myself remember, but I obviously forgot about this one. They are changing the weapon damage of hoplites or spearmen, so these sort of guys here, their effectiveness against cavalry. It's basically being halved. So currently they get a massive bonus. It's like a 400% bonus or something, or 300% bonus against cavalry. So that means when you engage hoplites as cavalry, it's almost instant death, or it's not instant death, but very effective because of that massive weapon damage bonus they get against them. And that is basically changing. They're halving the weapon damage bonus. So there's still going to be a weapon damage bonus for these guys against cavalry, so they're still going to be pretty effective against cavalry, but they're not going to be quite as effective as they, well, half as effective as they once were. So that's probably going to be quite a noticeable change. I think the idea is that they're trying to soften the way units counter. So rather than having spearmen are an instant fixed definite counter against cavalry, they're trying to make it as spearmen counter cavalry, but a skilled cavalry player can still outplay spearmen, is I think how they're trying to make it. So we'll have to see how that plans out. It's going to be quite a change, I think, because, you know, obviously, yeah, as cavalry you really know that you firmly stick away from spearmen all the time. But with the way that changes, that could balance things out a little bit differently, but we'll just have to wait and see. So do you think the cavalry have realised that he's got infiltration? Ooh, I took a lot of damage, a couple of volleys into the rear there. Doing a good job sticking around with these friendly spearmen, keeping him safe. So yes, that's pretty much the balance changes for the upcoming patch. I think it's, yeah, as I say, generally a good thing, but perhaps not as much new content as I'd have liked. So, we'll just wait for the end of this replay. See, he's doing pretty well. He's up to almost 4,000 aggression damage. Hasn't taken any losses at all, I don't think, yet. No, all his units are still in full health. Obviously, in this case, his infiltration is working for him quite nicely. Obviously kept him safe from some of those units of enemy cavalry. But this game is still all to play for. And there's still quite a few enemy archers kicking around by a lot of it. Look at the 3 units of almost full health Greek archers are performing a similar role in their base as Massabates was completing his base, shooting those Punic mercenaries earlier. Dear, that's not going to go very well for them. 2 men. Oh no. Oh dear. 1 man. And he's dead. Didn't go so well. So, Master's moving down to this long grass over here. Oh, enemy cavalry. Watch out for that. Certainly get some shots into those celeres if we can. He's obviously using Arminius as his archer commander. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the new Barbarian Commander is going to be. Ooh, a volley. A bit of friendly fire, but took out a good amount of that cavalry as well. Yeah, that new Barbarian Archer Commander could really change how things play out, to be honest. Be quite different, I think. A couple of enemy cavalry left. So yeah, so hopefully we'll see the Barbarian Commander as an announcement soon, and we'll get an idea of what his abilities are going to be. I just can't work out if everyone is completely unaware of what infiltration is, or just no one seems to be noticing that he's got infiltration activated. Oh, one lucky man. Shoot him! No, he's going to escape. Oh, he perhaps died, and that might just be a slight replay bug. So he's still getting shots in, he's still advancing up. That put him into 4k? 4k exactly. But the main threat is probably these enemy archers. Although there's more enemy archers up there as well by the looks of it. With shots raining down. So that was what I was going to have to kill really before he can stand any chance of winning. The rest of his team starting to move up. Just finishing off those remaining enemy cavalry. Oh, can't quite get the last shots on it. There he goes, and he kills them. Nice job. These archers are being chased by Leonidas hoplites. And that's when you wish you have multi ADs, when you're having to chase down archers. You need the extra speed that conveys. He's moving back up with these archers. If those enemy archers are still out in the open, you might be able to get shots in them without being seen, which would be pretty cool. Because the enemy don't own this cap point yet. Ooh, might be able to get shots in. Oh, and there's enemy javelins. I'll go for the archers to be honest first. There's enemy archers here in this long grass. There they are. Oh, they're out of the grass. Go and get shots on them. Oh, nice job. They're focusing fire because they don't know where he is. So that means they don't know where he is. Yes, so he can continue to get shots on them with impunity because he can't be seen. And his little man is left alive providing spotting, which is absolutely perfect. Although it looks like he's got enough distance from this long grass to see anyway. And they've really started to tip the battle back in his favour now. Enemy archers try and focus fire. Oh, what a terrible shot. They miss utterly. But they've gone for the flag, which was a good move, because that means they're now going to be in range of him. And here's the return fire. Although, I think he's decimated them so much they haven't got that many men left to return fire with, to be honest. There he goes, he retreats back to the safety to get our range of this watchtower here. Probably a pretty wise move. It looks like he may end up winning out on time at this rate, because obviously they've got the lead now in strength, so they should win this battle if it just times out, as long as these hoplites sufficiently get out of the way. We've got one of our allies, looks like he's obviously just AFK but stood defending the base. Would be kind of useful to have him over in the fight now. Only 60 seconds left. Cavalry, for some reason deciding to focus on the hoplites rather than the completely undefended units of archers. But hey ho. Is going for the cap, is moved down to the back behind this building here to try and get safety, I think. Oh, gets a volley off at the last remaining artillery crewman. Misses. All those enemy archers are coming back into range. He's going for the safety of the building, I think. Oh, we got clipped there by the enemy focus fire, which kind of reset his base cap. But it's only 20 seconds left. I think he'll be hard pressed to lose this one now unless he gets really volleyed by the enemy archers. But using his focus fire, looks like he is getting some big hits in on the enemy units. There we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and victory. Nice, good replay. So yes, hopefully that sort of surmised some of the expected changes we are going to get in the 3.1.4 patch. Obviously, we haven't actually got the patch notes yet, so we don't know definitively everything that's been changing. I'm also unaware if there is going to be anything in the form of a PTS server, you know, public tests like there has been on some of the patches. But since it's mostly just balance changes, I suspect they're just going to release it. I believe the proposed release date is Thursday. So that's, well, I'm recording this on Thursday, so a week from today. Early June. So hopefully you found this video informative. If you did, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next video.